Hello and welcome. My name is George Roman. I'm a senior program manager with the City of Calgary Climate and Environment and team lead for watershed resilience. So I'd like to open by reflecting that the place we know as Calgary has a long history connected to the Bow and Elbow rivers. The Blackfoot peoples called this place Mokinstis, meaning forms an elbow, and it's long been a place of confluence for rivers, people, and ideas. Treaty 7, signed in 1877, stated the agreement would last as long as the grass grows, the sun shines, and the river flows. So the rivers we have flowing through Calgary and the spaces around them are a big part of our history and our sense of place. We shape that sense of place whenever we plan, design, or build around our rivers and streams. And we have a duty to do that in ways that respect the health of the land, riparian areas, water, fish, and wildlife, and importantly, the people connected to those spaces. That includes longtime Calgary residents and newcomers as we rapidly approach 1.5 million people, as well as the Indigenous peoples who are the original stewards of our river valleys. And it's important to reflect and integrate that into our thinking today by honoring and respecting those peoples, which includes the four nations of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations in Alberta, and the Omskapee-Piikani Nation in Montana, the Stoney Nakoda, which includes the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Métis Districts 5 and 6. Over a decade ago, Calgary experienced a major flood. The June 2013 flood was a defining moment that helped reshape Calgary's relationships with its rivers. About 20% of all riverbanks in the city eroded, leading to numerous recovery projects to stabilize and repair them. This also brought many opportunities for planning and design interventions and accelerating the use of innovative, multifunctional bioengineering and nature-based solution projects as part of a broader vision of how we relate to and interact with riparian areas in Calgary. The groundwork for a modern vision on riparian management in Calgary began with a riparian strategy approved in 2013. After 2013, this evolved into the Action-Oriented Riparian Action Program to implement a range of activities under land use planning, riparian health restoration, and education and outreach program areas. Three key actions focused on riparian restoration that I'd like to highlight for today include: 1, integrating bioengineering into bank restoration projects, which we began doing in earnest in 2014. 2, monitoring riparian health over time and evaluating performance. And 3, building capacity for riparian restoration, which is a lot of what today's workshop is all about. The program also had outcomes and performance targets, and today we're in the unique position of being able to look back over the past 10 years and evaluate progress against those targets. So how have we done? How is our performance tracking? A key indicator we use is riparian health, measured across a network of sites in the city. We set a target to improve riparian health from a baseline average value of 61%, targeting a goal of 72% by 2026. Measuring riparian health is based on international best practice, adapted to Southern Alberta by the nonprofit Cows and Fish, who also monitor the indicator on behalf of the city. They use a repeatable method based on observations and measurements of site conditions, such as amount of bare ground, cover of native vegetation with well-developed root systems, and a variety of other indicators. As of 2023, across our network of sites, riparian health has improved to a citywide average of 69%, as shown on the bar graph. Some of this can be explained by the beneficial impacts of the 2013 flood on tree and shrub germination, especially things like balsam poplar trees. We've also had well over 150 restoration projects in Calgary's riparian areas since 2013 that contribute to these results, including many of the bioengineering projects you'll hear about more later today. So today's theme is all about monitoring and lessons learned, and that fits well in our adaptive management framework. So adaptive management is science-based and policy-driven, and it integrates experience and scientific information. The basic cycle shown here includes assessing information, designing and implementing programs and activities, monitoring, evaluating and learning from that monitoring, and using the results in a feedback loop to adjust our understanding and approaches moving forwards. So today's workshop focus really is around distilling and communicating a lot of those monitoring results to you so we can spread the message, learn from each other, and move forwards together as a community of practice. Our institutions and governance also evolve over time, which needs to be considered in adaptive management. Calgary's current organization and strategic priorities emphasize climate change much more than 10 years ago. A lot of the riparian work has been able to integrate quite well with the lenses of climate adaptation and resilience, and is reflected in our Calgary climate strategy and associated implementation plan and reporting. The upcoming Calgary plan, currently being finalized, which is the highest level municipal planning document, also has a major emphasis on landscape, nature, water and climate, and Indigenous reconciliation. And this will help to elevate the importance of rivers, streams, ravines, wetlands, and nature-based solutions in our watersheds as we strive towards integrating these into how the city grows over the coming decades. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for being part of this journey with us, whether you've been designing bioengineering for 10 plus years or you're new to it. Your role is critical, and our hope for today is that we can all take away some new learnings and apply that in our work moving forwards. So I'll turn it over to Norma now.